Welcome to the Hamsey Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Pablo Navarro. Today is Friday, November 30, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange Advanced Decline Differential closed at 283. NASDAQ Advanced Decline Differential closed at negative 49. We had 24 new 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and 1 new 52-week low for the S&P 500. For the volatility, 288,000 contracts traded on the VIX today with 35 million in total premiums paid. For the dollar-weighted put-call ratio in December, we saw a 4.1 reading, which is bullish, with 54% of the total premiums paid, and in January, a 0.94 reading, which is neutral, with 41% of the total premiums paid. The daily chart for SPX, as you can see here, we had a flat day today, 0.23 cents higher for the day. But the important thing here was that we finished almost at the highs of the day, and we reversed in the afternoon that we were selling off. We finished up, which was better than what we were doing intraday. Now here we have the daily chart for SPX again with our moving averages. We are targeting our 1424.7. That's the 55-day moving average. We are looking for that, and we are holding still the 100-day moving average at 1409, which is pretty important. So that's what I'm looking here so far, higher prices until 1424. That's going to be some type of resistance, and below we're seeing some support around 1409. For the weekly chart here, you can see the upward trend line I drew here. We have been respecting it from there. That was pretty much the lows we touched on two weeks ago, and now we're starting to turn above. We're breaking here 20-week moving average, which is important. And we also bounced off the 55-week moving average, which was good. I'm looking here for longer term higher prices, make a new high. Of course, that would be pretty much next year. We have 4 more weeks this year. So we're looking maybe to even make a new high or be pretty much close to the highs by year end. Here also SPX weekly chart. We are breaking 0 sigma to the upside. As you can see here, very important. If we go up here, I'm looking for our first resistance on the weekly time frame, 1444, and then I'm looking for 1473. Those are the two targets on the upside. That's going to be important. We want next week by Friday to confirm the break above the 20-week moving average, which is going to be important right now at 1415. So we want to be closing above that level next week. For the daily chart in SPX here, you could see it. I am looking for the 55-day moving average, 142.73. That's the level I'm looking as an upper target. Looks like we're having some resistance up there. So we want to break above that and go around to 144. If we fail here, maybe come and test this 200-day moving average at 136.70. That's going to be important. We want to break above the 55-day moving average and try to close above it at least Monday or Tuesday. As for the weekly chart for SPY here, you can see a chart from 2008 to today. We've drawn a trend line, upward trend line, and we have here some support around 132.21. Very important support, very long term. And also before that, we have some support around 136, which is the 55-week moving average. As I said on SPX, I'm looking for higher prices on the next couple of weeks. I'm looking for 148, 147, and a test of the highs of the year. Here you can see it. We're breaking the 0 sigma on the SPY weekly chart, and CI is starting to turn around. We're starting to try to go higher. That's what I'm getting here, a little more bullish here as we go into the end of the year. For the daily chart on the Qs, this is the NASDAQ ETF. We broke the 200-day moving average 2 days ago, and we've been able to hold above it even today with the sell-off. We did not break the 200-day moving average, not even intraday, which I believe was a bullish sign here. This is a low-risk entry. If we want to enter here, the Qs maybe target the 66.50. That's the 55-day moving average. That I think it's going to be some support, very important. We need to break that to the upside. And of course, the NASDAQ ETF has been lagging from SPY, so keep an eye on the 55 day moving average, pretty close to the 100-day moving average at 66.50. As for the weekly chart here, I'm looking very nice bounce here of our trend line. I'm looking for 66.65. Of course, this is a longer time frame. That's the 20-week moving average. Kind of important. We want to break above that and continue our way to 70. Here we have the daily chart for IWM. This is the Russell 2000 ETF, risk on, risk off ETF. We broke or basically closed at the 55-day moving average yesterday. And today we were down basically 0.01%, nothing. But we were not able to close above the 55-day moving average. I'm looking this one as some type of support here, some consolidation. And I'm looking for higher prices. 82.5 is going to be some type of resistance, and above that I'm looking for 84 on the daily chart. If we go to the weekly chart for IWM, we broke this downward trend line we have drawn here for the last 8 weeks or so, and now we're finishing almost at the highs of the week, which was pretty positive for the IWM, looking for higher prices and a test of the highs around. You could see here, break 85 and then go and test that support resistance we have up there. For GLD, pretty bearish action here. We talked about breaking a 55-day moving average. We also broke a trend line to the downside. 20-day moving average now, we are below that. Today we are down 0.66%. I am looking for a test of the 164 level. And if we do not hold that level, we are going to the 200-day moving average at 161 and probably fail there and even go lower. So 164 is going to be a critical test for GLD. If we do not get there and bounce, I am going to get pretty bearish here on GLD. For the weekly chart, here we have it. You can see we have some type of resistance up there since October 2011. We were not able to break to the upside, and now we're facing basically some consolidation pattern here. On the longer term, it looks more bullish than bearish, and we are more bullish here than we were on the daily chart. So I'm looking for maybe a test of the 174 on the next couple of weeks if we hold the levels I talked about on the daily chart. If not, I'm also seeing the 55-week moving average around 162. That's going to be critical to hold. Very important level on the weekly chart. So keep an eye on that also. As for the Sigma channels for the GLD, we are still above the 0 Sigma, which is important. So keep an eye on 0 Sigma, 164.92. That's going to be a level to talk about. But we're still closing above it. So we'll have to see next Friday if we respect that close above it. For SLV daily chart, we continue to be bullish on silver. Here we have the upward trend line, as you can see it. We broke the 55-day moving average intraday. We touched our upward trend line and we bounced. Very interesting. We were still able to close above the 55-day moving average, which is important. And I'm looking here for more upside, maybe 33.50 and even 34. I'm going to continue with my 34 target on SLV until we break that 32 level and we close below it. On the weekly chart, here we have it. We are on the above the 0 Sigma, which is 30.74. I'm bullish on the short term above 32. That is our trend line. We just talked about it. So this one is pretty much very flat or neutral chart here on the weekly chart. You can see here we're in a big range longer term since October 2011. I want to see a test of this 44 level and try to break out with a close above it. That would be pretty bullish. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, taking us to even 44 level. Of course, that's a long time from here. This is the weekly chart, so keep that in mind also. For the VIX daily chart, we have an outside bar reversal, finishing up 5% for the day. We did not get the below 15 close that I wanted. So basically, VIX is not telling us anything here.